Guys, deluded Guna, Petr Cech now signed for 10 million. Jose didn't want him to come to us. Talked about us bringing a winning mentality and etc. etc. For the large part, he has. People were expecting a Messiah. We're expecting the Czech of old. I mean, it's hard to imagine it now because he's been around so long and what you're seeing at Arsenal. But he was possibly top 5 keepers in the world, maybe even top 3, maybe even the best if you remember rightly. Was holding records for clean sheets, was doing crazy things, and Cech is a quality keeper and no doubt goes down as a Premier League and into some footballing legend, to be honest with you. So yeah, people are forgetting he's declining. People are forgetting there's a reason Courtois benched him. People are forgetting that season he spent on the bench plays a part. He's getting old. The agility was killing out of his game. The game against West Ham should have shown you that. Now people make a joke of the 15 points that Terry talked about. He has had good games. He's not perfect. Like I said, he is declining. He's evidently aging. He'll never get better at near posts. Look how old he is. If he hasn't, he's always had problems his whole career with keeping his near post. Sorry. So at 35, 34, 35, sorry, however old he is, it's not gonna happen now. It's never gonna happen. Wenger talks about he could possibly play until he's 40 years old. That might be true, but he shouldn't be at this football club. I mean, you were saying that sort of stuff with a certain Jens Lehmann, and we all know Lenz was a good keeper, but what's happened on the way out? Like, I mean, you got to be playing pretty damn bad if Almunia has to come into the side for you. And yeah, he has had good games. I do believe while he has played poor, particularly in the winter months, that there were some periods that were tough for him, and he was looking like a bit of a fraud. The game against Chelsea, where he was pretty much agent check, where he just kicked it to someone and they put it in. He has had some questionable games, but for the large part, there has been some times that I do believe, because we've been battered or we haven't kept a clean sheet, he hasn't got the praise he deserves or the sort of result his performance warranted. I mean, we lost 2-0 against Spurs. It could have been in the latest game we played against them. It could have been about 10 if it wasn't for Cech. Middlesbrough, he had a good game. Who else did he have a good game against? Borough. He had a good game against Everton. United at home. He's had a strong finish to the end of the season. Now he's not perfect. I mean, he had a decent game against City in the FA Cup, but incidences like Kun running at him, and he had forever to make a decision or to react, show you that the guy is declining. And in an ideal world, maybe he shouldn't be first choice, but there's a lot of areas at this club to fix. I'm not saying there's not a case for a keeper. I believe Cech can still do the job, to be honest with you. But I'm not ruling out another keeper. But that's just what I'm saying. Um, yeah, with just all the other problems with this club, the goalkeeper is the least of our worries. Like, he can still play for next season at least. It'd be interesting, like I said. Ospina's probably off. His contract's up. He's got to fight Szczesny. Something has to happen over Szczesny's future. So yeah, there's going to be something. But yeah, before I lost my trail of thought, the City game where with Couldn't and Czech should have made a decision earlier, gives you food for thought about needing a new keeper. And yeah, after next season at least, a decision has to be made on him. Czech does annoy me at times. He is a model professional, but he does, like certain Girouds and Koscielny's, he does kind of echo what Wenger said. I mean, that whatever game it was that there was talk of empty pitches at the Emirates, and they still reported 60,000 like they don't ever. He said, I had tickets for 15 people, but they couldn't turn up and get the time off work. I mean, who do you take us for, Wenger? I mean, Wenger's normally taking us for guys like this. I normally said him, Czech, how stupid do you think people are? Just be quiet. Sour taste for me as well. Before the last game of the season, him along with Wenger were already talking up the benefits of Europa League. Like, come on, it's just nonsense. Really, you just shouldn't really be doing that. Like I said, his near post problems will never get better. His agility every year that goes on is going to get worse, as seen by certain results. Again, like I'll say it for those who forgot, the City game in the FA Cup. But he still is a decent keeper, and yeah, he doesn't deserve certainly some of the critics he's received, especially the game against Everton in the December period. He's actually played against Everton twice. He didn't deserve to actually lose against Everton, particularly from set pieces. He put in a great shift, and the boys let him down. Of course, he's had poor games and he's done some questionable things, and he's been at fault for a lot of the goals. But he's not been helped by this retarded defense. I'm pretty sure what I've said about Czech still stands. If you put Czech in that Spurs side with how they put an emphasis on defending and actually switched on defensively, you would see a difference. I guarantee you'd see a difference. You put him in Conte, especially Conte's side at the first half of the Premier League season when they were picking up form and keeping clean sheets, you would see a slight difference, as you can say in many scenarios with many of our players. So while he isn't at fault for a lot of things and he has a lot to blame, I do believe he's one of them that can. No one can keep their head held high in regards to our season, but he's one of them that can keep it slightly higher. For his season, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Check. I'll give you a 6 out of 10. That's enough to pass. Next season, question marks got to be open. Personally, I'd like to see Chesney fight you for a spot. I'm actually still retaining some sort of faith in Chesney. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, guys. I'm probably to a degree forgetting about the nonsense Chesney used to come out with. But can you blame me for keeping faith, man? I know. But anyways, guys, Deluded Goon, I'm signing out. My thoughts on Czech. Hope you enjoyed. It's a shame if you thought I was waffling, but if you did, let me know. Get in the comments whether you agree or not. It's good to have a debate, good to talk about football. This is what we're all here for, and things like that. Yeah, share it for me. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Don't get away without subscribing. I know it's somewhere on your screen. Yeah, Deluded Gooner.